So Trump was giving a speech for the American Freedom Tour. I don't know what the main group is that was sponsoring this, but he takes a shot at both Fox News and Bill Maher. And honestly, I find this hilarious for a number of reasons, so let's check it out.
Bill Maher, right? Everybody know Bill Maher, for example? He's a radical left maniac with modest television ratings, right? Modest. And as soon
Nobody really knows Bill Maher's ratings. Nobody really knows what they are. I think HBO keeps those numbers on the down low. So Trump just makes it up. I mean, he's probably right, but he did just make it up.
As soon as he says something that's a little bit modest or temperate, Fox and others put him on to explain, oh, look, Bill Maher, a lefty. Bill Maher is saying wonderful things. They play right into the hand of the enemy. It's amazing. I'm sure he laughs like hell at how stupid they are. They're kissing the ass of the enemy. And in that case, his ass is not particularly pretty.
Okay, that's funny. Come on. Trump is so dumb, though. Like, the reason why they do that, Don, like anybody else understands this. It's actually a very strategic thing, and it works. The reason why they do this is to say, look, even lefty Bill Maher has now said the left has gone too far. So obviously this proves we're right about everything. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. And the right is honestly great at this trick of having like see, this is a lefty who got fed up with the nonsense of the left. Look at Dave Rubin, for example. Like, they love to hold these people up. Now, you almost never see it cut in the other direction. I mean, maybe you had, like, Hunter Avalon did it and maybe a handful of others. But the right does this all the time. Fox News, there could be a podcast with Rogan where 80% of his commentary in the podcast cuts politically left. They will ignore all the left-wing things he says, but when he says anything that's right-wing, they will trumpet that and do 80 headlines over it, and they will claim Rogan as one of their own. That is a very potent and powerful PR strategy and marketing strategy because you're building this false consensus. See, everybody agrees with us on everything because even Joe Rogan, even Bill Maher, they all realize the left has gone crazy and we're the answer. We're the solution. But Trump is so petty and narcissistic and selfish that he can't, he would refuse to do such things. So in other words, Trump is admitting here, I will never even just agree where we agree. You know, even if Bill Maher says something he agrees with, he'll be like, I disagree now because you're Bill Maher and I don't like you. Do you realize how petty and dumb that is? Do you realize how stupid that is? That you can't give credit where you would think it's due because you're so petty that you're like, well, fuck that. I find that so childish, and it really is a kind of politics that I despise. You know? Like, I try my best. I will tell everybody where I agree and where I disagree. So even with somebody like Rogan, who I consider a friend, there's plenty of stuff on my channel where, you know, I disagree with him and I go after him. When he said the thing about maternity leave or paternity leave or whatever it was, I went after him on that. I went after him. I mean, there was a time he sort of flipped on UBI and his own subreddit turned against him. I covered that and I agreed with his subreddit. But there's also times where he said, you know, he comes out and supports universal health care, makes a good point, and I'm like, look, I cover it and I agree with it. Trump is so petty, he can't do that. He's just like, I've decided you're bad and I don't like you, so you're never, anything you ever say ever is good. It's amazing. It's amazing that he does that. Man, I just don't understand what it would be like to live life like that. By the way, just so you understand the history behind this, the reason why Donald Trump hates Bill Maher is because Donald Trump did a new rule segment back in the day, I think when Trump was first running for office, where he basically joked because, you know, Trump was a birther. Oh, Obama's not born here, etc. And Maher said to Trump, he sort of flipped the birtherism thing back on him, and he said, look, you need to prove to me, Donald, show your birth certificate and prove to me that you're not the love child of your mother and an orangutan, because I think you are, because that color of your hair does not exist in nature. It only exists among orangutans. And so it was a joke, obviously. Donald Trump then proceeded to send Bill Maher a legal letter threatening to sue him. He said, look, here's my birth certificate. I proved it. So now you need to go out there and correct the record or I'm taking you to court. He sued him over a joke. Over a joke. And it's so ironic because this is the guy who rails against cancel culture and wokeness. You know, and the left-wing snowflakes can't take a joke. You sued Bill Maher over a joke. And that that thing affected him so much, and he made up his mind so much on Bill Maher that even now, if Bill Maher says something where Trump agrees with it, he won't give credit. And he thinks Fox News is like, look at these idiots, they're giving the enemy positive coverage. No, you jackass. They're way more sophisticated than you. They're taking issues where he does agree with the right, and they're blowing it up and saying, even lefty Bill Maher agrees with us, which means everybody agrees with us, which is a good trick that gets everybody to sort of disarm and think, well, these are the common sense people. So God, fucking Trump. He's amazing. He really is a specimen. He's something. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.